Hi, and welcome to week 3 of Realmathon, where I'm reading Another Realm for 7 days. If you don't know what Realmathon is, it is a month-long readathon I host every year in April. It is not too late to join when seeing this video. You can just backlog any books you've read for April already, so you can essentially join up until like the last day if you really wanted to. And Realmathon is a team-based readathon where we have 4 realms competing to be the last one standing. They do this by reading books to either attack each other or to defend themselves, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's genre based, so we have teams for everyone, and the announcement video will be linked down in the description bar below if you're interested in joining. I need to pick what team I'm reading, so I only have Enya and Sanctum left, so either be reading horror for 7 days or fantasy for 7 days. I don't really know what I want. I know Lexi wants me to be in horror because she's on vacation the last week of April, so she wants to be able to see what I'm reading this week, so that's literally the only thingy that's made any decisions. But let's just like place you down here and let's spin this bad boy. I'm so scared. Honestly, I do feel like Enya is what I needed, just because after Peace Talks, I think I would prefer like long, chunky books drawn out, so less books, more chunk, and horror will be more books, smaller in size, if that makes sense. So I do think Enya is what I needed. So that's good. Plans for this week. Promise of Blood needs to be read because it is Backlist Bookclub's pick for for this month, so the live show is early May. So I need to do this and read this chunker. I also want to read the 3rd book in the Aurelian cycle. Is that what this is called? The Fireborn series. This is my favorite book of the year so far. 1 and 2. I loved them. So I do want to read Fury Song. And then I also would like to get to A Shade of Madness, if I can. And then I'd really like to get to the 2nd book in the Wings of Nixia, World of Nixia series, a fantasy romance that I read last week. I would really like to read the sequel too. But this is my priority, and probably this one, and then the rest will just come naturally. I'm pretty sure this is my Escape the Readathon merch, and I'm so excited. Yes, it is! It is! Look at that! I obviously ordered a really large size because I like my hoodies very big. If you don't know, I'm going to put it on and record my next video. If you don't know, I am a co-host in a really fun and epic readathon that's happening next month in May. I am co-hosting Team Partiers with Katrina, Michelle, and Aaron. I will have their channels linked down below. And I'm so excited. This is a readathon created by Lexi, who you all know Lexi because she is a ruler for Team Sanctum for Realmathon, and we are trying to escape a haunted house next month, and we're going to be mood reading like crazy. It is a readathon literally made for mood readers. So you pick a team, and your goal is to read a certain percentage of our average team amount of books for each room, and then we'll have to we'll also have to unlock the doors to the rooms with a prompt, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Lexi explains it way better than I did, but just know it's open to all genres, and it's gonna be so much fun. Come on and join Team Partiers. We have a team slogan. I've sung it a couple times. If you like pina coladas and getting locked in a haunted house.
How am I supposed to read?
House tours. If you don't have a DSLR,
I'm muting you.
At midnight, in the haze of champagne, then the partiers are what you looked for. Join us and escape. That was really good. So you never know what chaos you're gonna get on Team Partiers. So definitely come join. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be wearing this for like the next day. I'm gonna wear it in the next video I'm filming. A lot of fun. So when I was on Team Cyrus, I did a week of fantasy romance, and I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, and I fell in love with it. So for Peace Talks, I read the little 1.5 novella. Now that I'm in Enya, I can continue the series and read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So I am on chapter 5. I want to say like 50 pages in. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I was nervous because this one switches from single POV to multi-POV, so we get his perspective too. Sometimes having a male POV in a romance type books doesn't work for me because I find them unrealistic. I just find them to be written by a woman and not necessarily what I think a man would say or feel or do in that situation. But that's very personal to me, and I think it's because I'm looking for reality versus just my ideals, if that makes sense. And I'm sure there are men that act that way. It's just like not my personal experience, I guess. But I am finding his POVs quite realistic, and I don't think that I don't think the authors made him a character that he's not. And I am really enjoying that. Hello, Mickey. Come here. Come here. Come say hi to the vlog. You can do it. We have a cat on my lap. He says hi. Hi, vlog. Mickey, what team do you think is going to win? Oh, he's keeping it a secret. Anyways, I'm just like actually really enjoying this, and I think that there's so much potential for this series. It is a 6-book long series that is going to be cut into 3 duologies, so we will be following new characters in the next 2, so I'm hoping to get some resolution with their romance, which I do think will keep things like exciting, because sometimes in like a long fantasy romance series, like characters break up not for good reasons, but just to keep the plot moving forward. So I think by doing 3 duologies, you're kind of get out of that. So I am excited about that, but I just think that there's so much opportunity for plot within this story. This is a 600-page book, so I'm hoping to see a lot of things. We have mirroring of characters that I'm excited to see, mirroring of like his past love with his like new love. I'm excited to see where this goes, is all I'm gonna say. I'm currently really, really liking it. I also think it's dealing with grief quite well, and like the mental health that comes with grief. It was all her, deadly and stunning. Even her hatred was fucking beautiful. Honestly, that right there, true love. True love is thinking someone is beautiful and loving them, even when they hate you. Like, I think this author has it down to a T, literally. Also, hating someone and loving someone is such a wonderful conversation, because I think, especially in like long-term relationships, there are moments of dislike, moments of like hate but still love, and so I think this like narrative is beautiful. Good afternoon. Coffee is needed today. I am exhausted. The burnout from Peace Talks is real, and I'm really glad I landed in the fantasy realm just because it's like my happy place. It's my favorite genre this week, because I am definitely struggling. But I do have some updates for you. I actually have 2 updates for different books to give to you during this time, and I don't normally do that. I normally am like more sneaky about it. First off, I am 41% into The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is the 2nd book in like the Nightborn duology that is in her world, The Crowns of Neaxia. And I'm obsessed. I'm literally obsessed with this. Like, this is better to me than ACOTAR. Like, I'm so in love with what's happening in this. I think Carissa Broadbent is a beautiful, 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 beautiful writer. And the way she's handling trauma within this story is so amazing. The narrative on grief and how grief affects someone and what grief does to you, what grief is, and how grief can be for more than just death. I'm obsessed. I'm literally just obsessed, and I need more people to read this series, and I cannot wait to read Daughter of No Worlds. Like the other series, there's just like, Carissa Broadbent has become an author I need to read the entire backlist for. I'm obsessed. If this was just a duet by itself, like this was it, this would be one of my all-time favorite series. But obviously there's more. It's like a 6-book series with 3 duologies within it. So I'm not naming it that until I read the entire series. But like these two characters, incredible, chef's kiss. It's so good, and their relationship and their ideals and like the conversations they have together, like their moments together are just so real. I love it. I literally love it, and I need to recommend more people to read this. Like, you need to read this series. Like, if you are a fantasy romance liker, please do. If you like YA fantasy, because it has like that like more focus on a romance normally, read this. This, to me, is so comparable to, like, Fireborn by Rosaria Mundo, which is not considered a fantasy romance, but, like, they're just so good. But, like, obviously there's, like, more focus on, like, the smut and stuff in this than there is in, like, Fireborn, because it's YA, but, like, you know, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. So, yeah, I'm loving that. I'm hoping to finish that soon. On the other note, I started Promise of Blood. This bookmark is real, like, real. I am 77 pages in, and I'm hating it. I'm not having a good time. It is so boring. Like, it's so dry, and the characters, like, I can't tell them apart. All the men characters sound exactly the same to me. Like, exactly the same. And there's no, like, interesting developments happening. I'm at a point where I've asked Kaylee and Bex if they'll start this book, because if they don't like it, I'm calling off the live show. Like, I will suffer through if they're enjoying their time with it, but if they aren't, because I know Mel is, like, so-so about it right now, I'm calling off this live show. Like, so I'm waiting for them to tell me, because, like, I'm not having a fun time at all. So, like, I'm secretly hoping that they don't have a fun time, but also, like, I want them to like books. So, like, I'm also hoping that they have a good time. But, yeah, so far, it's just been, like, very surface level to the coup and, like, what that means for our characters. But, like, honestly, only, like, surface level. We're just seeing them, like, do things and talk about things that are done. But, like, not in a very, like, nuanced way. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it's just very dry. And there's a lot going on in terms of, like, the magic, but, like, never really well explained, because we have, like, the powder mages that have some sort of gun-wielding magic. Then we have people that just have, like, knacks, which is some sort of, like, lower-level magic, and, like, one guy just never sleeps, and that's his knack. But then we have, like, sorcerers, too, and I'm just, like, very lost within the magic system, and I want that to be more explained instead of us just, like, focusing on, like, these political conversations that are happening that aren't interesting, because, like, I don't care. So yeah, those are my two updates. One I'm loving, one I'm not liking so much. Very different books, and I still need to read Flamefall. I'm, like, actually shaking in excitement. I got the most exciting packages today. This one and this one. And we're gonna unbox them for you. I've been waiting at the door for these to come. This is wrapped so tightly, I don't even know how to open it. It took me 2 minutes to open this. This is the first time I'm seeing these two. I recently, literally this month, like April, added a new tier to my Patreon that has custom bookmarks. These are a monthly bookmark that is designed, drawn by me. They are foiled and then they are shipped out to everyone. You get your bookmark in the next month. So the April bookmark gets shipped out the first week of May. So it isn't too late to join if you want this month's bookmark. And I'm so excited. I have the first 3 months here. The 4th is also coming to me, but won't be here for, like, another week. I'm nervous. I'm so excited. Okay. This is beautiful! I think this is our first month going out. And it's like an inside joke with us because all of my book club books are always not good and, like, cursed. And it is so pretty. Look at that. Ah! I'm literally just shaking. I'm just shaking. Okay, and then there's 2 in here. Oh my god, they look so good. Ah! They look so good. This is the next one. It's got holographic foil. Also, I should have said, okay, this one is only one-sided, but this one is a double-sided bookmark with holographic foil, and it has a llama in space in kind of recognition of Team Ilma, and a lot of my Patreon are on Team Ilma, so I thought this guy was so cute, and I'm so obsessed with them. Okay, then we have one more. This one is beautiful. This one is also double-sided holographic foil, and I don't even know if this is gonna pick it up well. Ugh. It is a library. I'm literally so stunning. I'm obsessed. I'm back at it with things I've seen on TikTok. I am trying to make, like, one of these guys. So I have my little shrimp, there's no shrimp in this, tuna and salmon in my little rice, and I'm just trying to shape it to look like a triangle. I think that's as good as I'm getting. Okay, what does it say? Okay, I think we put it this way down. Oh God, I'm so scared. Okay, I have to take this out of here now. Look, it's on the guy. This is so hard. Oh no, I need to go up higher. Okay, like there. Oh no. All right. I'm gonna have to fold this guy over. Oh, it does not cover. I made this guy too fat. And we fold this guy in. And then we have a sticker to put on. And he looks like this. Don't at me. Okay. And normally you would take this out of your house for lunch. But also I have it popping out the top. But let's see how we eat it, because obviously I'm doing that and I'm not taking it out of my lunch. Pull down number 1. Okay, this guy. Pull down. Okay, he goes all the way around. Oops. Pull to... Oh, and then we're supposed to go take this guy. This is pulling my rice out. And 2 is supposed to come out, and these are supposed to stay in a triangle. I'm failing miserably at this. And then 3, stop taking my rice with you. Okay, someone teach me how to do this better. I failed miserably at this, and this is just, oh no. I'm gonna grab a plate, and we're gonna eat this now. It's literally falling out. Like, there still looks like a perfect triangle unwrapped. Mine did not. I did something wrong. If anyone can help me, please help me. It still tastes delicious though. Oh God, I look so tired, but I'm just updating this to tell you that I'm 75% through this book and I'm absolutely obsessed, freaking obsessed. Please read favorite fan row that I've read so far. I haven't read that many, but like definitely my favorite I've read so far. And also, look how cute Mickey is. But good night. I'll see you guys soon, and I'm obsessed. Oh my God, the flash is always so bright in here. It's midnight. I just finished The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. 5 freaking stars. Oh my God, it's so bright. I'm in love with Carissa Broadbent's writing. Please read this. Please, please, please read this. I'm gonna give you a better final update when this not dark in my room and it's not midnight and the flash isn't literally blinding me. My last bookmark order came in for like the next little while. I actually have more designs pre-made for the upcoming months, but I ordered these first 4. So these would be like the first 4 months, but here is the last one. Literally hand-drawn by me. I'm super excited to be giving these to people. This one is, I think, my personal favorite now that I've looked at it. It's just like, it's more subtle than the other ones and more of just like a bookmark, a standard bookmark, I think. Less of an inside joke, but like I love that about it, and I like having the mixture of all of those. We're definitely going to be seeing a lot of that. Like, I want to have some that are fun and inside jokes for the patrons, but then some that are just like a standard bookmark that you would buy from anyone. But anyways, I finished The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and probably to no surprise to anyone, I gave it 5 stars. I'm obsessed with this series. Carissa Broadbent, her writing, man, her writing. I think I went into this series thinking, man, this is going to be another fun fan row, and I underestimated Carissa's writing in so many ways. This series handles grief and trauma so well. I haven't read a lot of books that I think handle these concepts so incredibly beautifully. I mean, you're gonna see me read Fury Song in this vlog, and that's another series that I think handles trauma, grief, mental health, and things in such a nuanced way. And both of these series really showcase that, like, the good and the bad of people. Like, in this series particularly, you really see our main character struggle with, like, finding out things about people that she trusts and having to, like, reconsider what she knows about them and, like, what she loves about them with, like, what she now knows. And I think it's just like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation and discussion that happens within these stories. I love, love, love these two. Like, obsessed. I actually have a design for a bookmark featuring them, and I will put it on the screen because I'm not afraid to show them off. That I think will be coming to my patrons at some point, because we are just like buddy reading this like crazy. I've convinced everyone in my Patreon essentially to pick it up, drop everything, pick it up, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful series. I am obsessed with the themes in this. It is the most honest and darkest themes I've personally read in a fantasy romance so far. And I'm just really excited to pick up anything else that Cressa Broadbent reads. The Daughter in Her World series is calling my name. I know she has a standalone in this series coming out soon. And I just am obsessed. I have no words to tell you how much I loved this book. I just loved it. I think that this was such a fitting end to Aurea and Rain's story. Like, it felt really real and raw, and I'm counting this as a duology. I know that there's still 4 more books, but I think this itself is such a solid series and duology and feels so complete to me, and I'm excited to go elsewhere with new characters and leave these two behind, because like they're just like, this was enough for me. This was perfect. This was beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. Like, it's so good. If you're looking for a fantasy romance, please just read it. Read it, please. Like, oh my god. I got no words. Anyways, let's do our points for this. You're gonna see me later. I filmed these clips out of, honestly, backwards. So, I'm sorry that you're gonna see some Fury Song. You're gonna see some more explanations in Fury Song, but I forgot to do Patreon stuff. We're just defending Enya in this. It is 665 pages, so we did get some good bonus points there. I did not read in the 48-hour readathon. It looks like there's a source of light on this cover. I can spell my name on the book. I personally am still going to say this book is underrated. I think BookTube is screaming about it, but in the grand sphere of like popular books, this is underrated, and it is indie, and it is getting some hype because it was just released, but I think overall this is an underrated book, so I'm calling it an underrated book, and I'm doing what I want. It is multi-POV, and I read the ebook. It is my team genre, it is a hyper genre, and it is indie, so some good points there. I think the only other thing that I need to talk to you about right now is Promise of Blood, and I'm sad to say that I decided to DNF Promise of Blood 80 pages in. I just was not loving it. It was too dry. The things I said earlier, it just wasn't living up to what I wanted it to be. I was not interested. So I decided to call off the Backlist Book Club live show. I'm so sorry for anyone who read it, who's excited about it. In the Backlist Discord, I will be leaving open channels for people to talk about books 1, 2, and 3, but obviously we are not continuing. I will have a video coming to my channel soon with an announcement for our next series, which will be read in June with the live show in early July. I'm not sure what that is yet. I'm going to do a giant try a chapter tag this week, and then my top tier patrons, now the new tier, the Leviathans, do get to vote and pick which one we are reading out of like the 2 or 3 that I narrow it down to along with my co-hosts. So I am excited to do that. I'm hoping we have a win because obviously this wasn't, and I'm very sad that this wasn't. I don't think I'm going to unhaul it yet. I might come back to it in like a year or so when I'm like more in the headspace to maybe give it a better try, but for like the headspace I'm in right now, I'm solid. I'm pretty sure this would have been a 2-star. So yeah, I'm still in bed, I'm sorry, but I did want to let everyone know that currently the team that is in 2nd place is, put your guesses down below. What are you guessing? Let me know down below who's in 2nd place. Is Cyrus.
Then you're supposed to go through this to look for nuggets, but I doubt there's any.
Okay, you're not even gonna try?
Well, you think there's fucking large nuggies in Edmonton fucking Mill Creek Ravine?
Well, then why did you drag me out here?
gold to the bottom. That's really cool. And then you just... I don't even, the thing is, if it's in here, I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, look at that little speck right there.
You think it's gold? There's no way there's gold in the Mill Creek Ravine. Take it home with you. That little speck.
I need the sloofer bottle.
The sloofer bottle?
It's like got a little nozzle on it. It's for sucking up gold.
We are gold digging in the ravine next to Nick's house. You know? I think this is what he means, the sloofer bottle. Yeah. And this is why we're together, because it's always lots of fun.
Oh, I just gurgled it up. There's one speck of gold, maybe.
Maybe.
Zoom in on that, right there. Do you see that?
I see it. Grab it.
Can you see it on the camera? Not really?
I mean, I can see it just as well as I had in person.
Well, what about the viewers?
Okay, I started the last book in the Aurelian cycle. What is it called? Fury Song? A while ago. Not a while ago, like 2 days ago. And I'm already like 70% through. I just kind of was like enjoying my time with it and didn't want to vlog at all. Because like if you've been on my channel for like the last month, you'll know how much I love this series and these books. Like this is my favorite book I've read this year. Like Fireborn was my favorite book I read this year. This series is one of my favorite series. I'm obsessed with it. And book 3 is just like continuing on in that path. I think book 3 is my least favorite in the series for some reasons, but my favorite in the series for other reasons. And I can't really get into that at all. But if you don't know what Fireborn is about, we're following two characters, Annie and Lee, who are orphans. And they grow up to become dragon riders. And as the years go by, they realize that Lee is a son of the old regime. And Annie was a peasant in that regime. And that may not work between them. And that as they become dragon riders, they're supposed to be on level footing within this new regime. But like, because of the privilege of how they were raised, they aren't. And there's just like a revolution and a revolution within a revolution. And Rosaria Munda tackles so many things so incredibly well, like the discussions on politics, on power and power corrupting, and who really feels war, like who hurts from war and things like that are just so good and beautiful. And like, I will read anything Rosaria Munda gives me. I'm obsessed with this series. I need more people to read it. It's incredible, amazing, like chef's kiss. And book 3, some big shoes to fill, and it's doing it for me. I think that there is another discussion here on just like trauma and how trauma is handled. And I think we see that like love is not always enough and things aren't always enough, and like doing the right thing is not always enough, and like just this concept of everything is double-sided. And like, oh, I'm just so obsessed with this story and like the emotions I feel reading it. Like, I feel for these characters. I am one with these characters. I hurt for them. I laugh with them. Like, everything. I read 2 banging books this week, and I'm obsessed. I will get back to you with my ending thoughts on Fury Song. I feel like I don't have a lot of thoughts on this one, because, like, I've said it all over and over and over again within this series. Like, just read this freaking series. Like, it's so good. Please just read it. I finished Fury Song. And I do not have words for how much I love this series. I don't own the last book yet because it's not out in paperback, but if you have not read this series, you must. This is all-time favorite series worthy. I'm obsessed with this book and the themes and discussions that Rosaria Munda has within them. I typically find that I am a middle book kind of girl. For some reason, even though middle book syndrome exists, I tend to find that in my favorite series, the second book is my favorite, the first is my second favorite, and the last is my least favorite. And although I'm going to sit here and tell you this is like still true, the ending of this series is so good. Some of my favorite moments happen in Fury Song. I think that we see our characters stay true to themselves the entire time. For me, this series feels very true to who our characters are. Every decision they make feels like something that someone in their place would make, if not also just like what they would make. I cried, I screamed. Like, this series is heartbreaking. I have never, ever read a YA series that is willing to go where this series goes. And I will tell you it's YA. There's a YA romance. The characters feel YA, but the themes, the discussions, the tone of the story feel like this, which is adult. And I think no one would argue that this is not adult. Like, the themes in this are so intense, and the themes in this are so intense. And it's just so fucking good. And like, I have no words to explain to you my love of this series. Like, seriously, like, no words. If you have not, just read them. Fury Song takes what these books go through and doubles it, triples it. Like, the narrative of trauma, first off, within this series, but within Fury Song itself, is so beautifully done. There's also a gay romance in this that's not like the main romance, but it is like main characters that are part of this romance, and it is beautifully crafted. There is just like the bond of friendships and dragons and all of this other stuff that I just think is so freaking beautifully done, and I rooted for this romance the entire time. Well, that's not true. I'm lying to you. I was rooting for Annie and Lee, but the core of my person was rooting for Power. Power is my favorite character, and you might hate him in Fireborn, but I've always loved him. But character arc in Flamefall, and then again in Fury Song, is the best hands down character arc I have ever read. Power is one of my favorite characters I've ever read. I love him. I'm obsessed with him. I think he feels so real and raw to me. He feels like how someone would react. He feels not just like a chosen one character. He feels like someone making real life decisions based on themselves. Annie and Lee are those chosen one characters. They are doing the right things at all times. They are sacrificing their own wants to do the right thing. And although, like, I love a character like that, I don't always think a character like that is so realistic. And Annie and Lee are still realistic. Like, the way they are done is so realistic. But a character like Power, who is selfish, just hits me harder. I think a character like that is just so much more realistic, because as mankind, we are selfish. And we think that we are the center of the world. And I think the characters written in this are some of my favorite characters I've ever read. I'm obsessed. I can't stop talking about it. I'm ready for a reread. Anyone else? Like, I'm ready to write all over these and cry all over again. But anyways, if you haven't picked up the series, please frickin' do. Let's submit this. I forgot to ask for emoji polls, and it is midnight, and this video needs to go up ASAP. So, we're just, sorry patrons, but we're just not doing the emoji polls. They'll be back next week, but I just got carried away in, like, the burnout of peace talks and just, like, life, and I think I was just reading for myself and not necessarily even remembering to vlog, which is why I'm sorry that, like, Fury Song was, like, very rarely vlogged, but I was just, like, enjoying my time with it as, like, someone outside of BookTube. Like, this is, I don't know if that makes any sense, but we are going to go submit this, and to keep it fair, I'm just gonna do, like, defense points. So we're on Enya. The paperback says it's 546 pages on Goodreads, so we did get bonus points there. I did not read it in the 48-hour readathon. There is fire on this cover, so source of light on the cover. Fury is an emotion, so title with emotion. Book with mental health rep. There's so much mental health rep in this series. Personally, I think the series is underrated, but I don't know if other people will agree with me, but I feel like more people should just read it. It is multi-POV, and there we go. It is my team genre. I am going to count as hybrid genre. I personally think that this is a fantasy romance. People might come at me for saying this, but the romance is such a heavy part of this plot and this story. Like, take away the romance and you're left with only half of the plot. So I think that's why I would count this as a 50-50 romance and plot. And it has both of those with definitely a priority on like the fantasy, but like it is quite 50-50 for me. So I think we got lots of points there. Now, let's just head on over to the outro and tell you guys goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out in week 3. The wheel is being retired because in week 4 I have to read for Sanctum. I will be doing a horror thriller mystery week, and I'm very excited about that. Thank you everyone for watching this vlog and hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun on Enya. Obviously, fantasy is my favorite genre, so I read a lot of good books. I read 2 5-stars throughout this, and that just excites me. I love when you're having a good reading week, and it feels really good. I've had actually a really good reading month. I'm honestly having a really good reading year. Like, the 5 stars are coming in fast. I think I'm already at the amount of 5 stars I've had last year in total. I've already had this year. I'm doing a little bit more mood reading this year than I did last year, and I definitely think it shows that I'm picking up books that I'm really interested in and enjoying them in the moment. Because of that, I'm not restricting myself as much as I did last year for like videos and video concepts, and it's just really, it's turning out really good for me. So thank you. Let me know what your favorite read of this week was, and just thank you for participating in Realmathon. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a music note emoji for Fury Song. And then if you'd like to connect with me on other platforms, my Bookstagram, my Book Twitter, my Goodreads, and my Patreon are all linked in the description bar below. Have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day. I don't know if I ever said that I gave Fury Song 5 stars, but like that was just a given. See you guys soon.